What is the sum of the first 20 terms of the following sequence? 3, 6, 9, and 12. Dot dot dot. Well, in this case, what we have is called an arithmetic sequence. An arithmetic sequence is just a group of numbers or a sequence where every consecutive term has a constant difference. So in this case, we start with the number 3. The next term, if we add 3 to it, we get 6. Again, if we add 3, we get 9. If we add 3, we get 12. So the next term would be 15, after that 18, 21, and etc. We need to find the sum of the first 20 terms. One way to do this by brute force, if you have a whole bunch of time and if you're very careful, just take out your calculator and do 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 18 all the way down until you have all 20 terms. But of course, that's not the most efficient way to do this. So for these types of questions, really you need to memorize the equation. And there's actually two that you need to memorize. But before we go there, let's try to see if we can derive them. So the first term is 3, and we add 3 to get the next term, to get 6. To get the third term, if we start with the number, the original number 3, and we do 3 times 2, or we're adding 3 twice, we get 3 plus 6, which is equal to 9. For the next term, if we start with the original number 3, and we add to it 3, but we add 3 to it 3 times, or 3 times 3, we get 12. So as you can see, if we go all the way down the list, to get the 20th term, we would have to do 3 plus 3. We're basically adding 3 19 times, and so we get 3 plus 57, which is equal to 60. So 60 would be the 20th term of this arithmetic sequence. So you see it's not that bad, it's more or less finding a pattern, but the most official way to get that solution would be a1 plus d times n minus 1 is equal to a sub n, where a sub n is equal to the nth term of the sequence, a1 is the first term of the sequence, d is the number or the difference or the number you keep adding over and over again, and n is the number of terms in that sequence. So in this case, we want to figure out what a sub 20 is, and that's equal to a1, which is the first term 3, plus the difference, which we already established is plus 3. And n, we have a total of 20 terms that we need to find. Minus 1 is, as you can see, they're exactly the same thing. We have 3, 3, plus 3, and here's that plus 3 as well. And here we have 20 minus 1, which is 19, which is the same exact 19, and we get 60. So make sure you memorize this equation. It just makes everything more simple if you do. But so far we've only figured out what the 20th term of the sequence is. The question is asking us to find the sum of all of those 20 terms. So again, like I mentioned earlier, you can type them into your calculator, 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12, all the way down to plus 60, but obviously that might take a while, and of course it's very easy to make a mistake. So again, before I give you the official equation, let's try to do it in a more creative way. I'm going to write the numbers out that they give us, and then I'm going to start in reverse order using the number we determined was the biggest. So the next would be 57. Next after that would be 54, 51, and dot dot dot. Since we're asking the sum, I'm going to just consider this as one pair. And if I consider that as a pair, that would be 63. If I consider this as a pair and add them, that would again be 63. This, you probably guessed by now that all of these pairs are going to equal 63. Well, how many pairs do we have? Since there's 20 terms, and I'm grouping them in pairs, we would have 10 pairs total. And each of those pairs have a sum value of 63. So the total would be 630. Now let's see how the summation equation works. The summation S sub n is equal to a1 plus an times n minus 2. So again, let's see how that applies here. A1, or let's first start with S sub 20, or S, the sum of the first 20 terms, is equal to the first term, which is 3, plus the last term, which is A sub 20, which is 60. And we multiply that times the total number of terms there are, n, divided by 2. So we get 63 times 10, and again we get 630. So you can see it's pretty much the same thing. We're taking the average. If I were to rewrite this as a1 plus an over 2, this represents the average of this set. We multiply that times the total number of things we're averaging, and that equals the sum. So you can see there's two ways to do it always. There's the equation, which is the best way since you just have to plug numbers in and simply solve, or you can think a little more creatively, which doesn't take that much effort, but just as long as you're careful with these numbers, then you should get the same exact solution.